All right, we are live, and I'm gonna be reading a Friedrich Nietzsche book late in the night. Actually, it's too dark. It's too dark here. It's too dark. I hope this is better. Oh, this is definitely better. This is definitely better. All right, let's see. We have the Nietzsche book, New Struggles. After Buddha was dead, his shadow was still shown for centuries in a cave, a tremendous, gruesome shadow. God is dead. But given the way of men, there may still be caves for thousands of years in which his shadow will be shown, and we still have to vanquish his shadow. Let us beware of thinking that the world is a living being. Where should it expand? On what should it feed? How could it grow and multiply? We have some notion of the nature of the organic, and we should not reinterpret the exceedingly derivative, late, rare, accidental that we perceive only on the crust of the earth, and make of it something essential, universal, and eternal, which is what those people do who call the universe an organism. This nauseates me. Let us even beware of believing that the universe is a machine. It is certainly not constructed for one purpose, and calling it a machine does it far too much honor. Wow. Alright. Let's see Cannes Festival. Tell me more about Cannes Festival. I am really curious. What is happening over here? What is the history of it? How did this all start? What are all the interesting things that are happening today over here at Cannes? So obviously it's not getting the reference. Okay, Cannes. I don't know how do you pronounce it. Cannes. Let's see. And current events. I hope it adds some images. That would be incredible. Cannes lines by Informa. By creativity drives progress. Creativity come to life at Cannes lines, where industry-leading work is awarded, influential thought leaders take to the stage. George Russell, Eddie Q, Demis Hassabis, June Silverstein, Marcel Marcondes, Maurice Levy, Mel Robbins, Oprah, Priyanka Chopra, Professor Brian Cox, physicist Rich Silverstein, Stella McCartney. Oh wow. Susan Criddle, Densu, Takeshi Sano, Tarang Amin, Elf Beauty. Wow, this is crazy. Elf Beauty's chairman and CEO is an Indian. Amazing. Corey Marchi Soto, Elf Beauty. Uber, Lucinda, Grace Cow Snap. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, let's see. Yes, we have images. Festival of Creativity is what's happening right now in Cannes. Biggest gathering for advertising, marketing, creativity, and communications. Often just called Cannes in the industry. advertising, marketing, creativity, and communications. It's on the film festival that wrapped earlier in May. This is the Ad Marketing Oscars. I wanted to know about the film festival. Oh. It's thinking that I'm talking about the what's happening right now. Okay, let's see what this is. Wind down and celebrate more. The Palais des Festival is still buzzing with sessions, while the Croisette, famous promenade and beaches are packed with brand activations, networking, and parties. The next generation of creative talents get the spotlight. Multiple inside the jury room debriefs. Judges from different categories: creative commerce, creative effectiveness, creative strategy, innovation, luxury, creative business transformation share what it was really like judging the work and what stood out. CM was in the spotlight panel with leaders from Visa, Diageo, and Opella. Real talk from big brand marketers, talks on Japan's fandom culture. Today at the dinner, we were talking about art, and it was very beautiful. It was very beautiful. There's a book called The War of Art. Why? Because art is kind of going at a war. With art, you are going at a war. It's not just that you just do some art where you are not really doing anything and you're just like not doing anything, you are just lazy and you're calling that art. No, no, no. You're serious about art. You go to war for your art, and this is what you want to keep doing. This is what you want to keep doing, and that is what's really important. By the way, I was just looking into this and I thought there's too much gap here, so let's reduce the gap. Okay, and let's reduce the gap over there as well. Okay, how does this look? This looks better, maybe. Hmm. And what do we do with all this extra white space? We need to fill this up. Hmm. Okay, so we just fill this up with brands. Perfect. Okay, we fill this up with brands. Let's go. Yeah, so we're talking about art. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. We want to fill the remaining space up with sponsors. That's it. We're gonna have lots of sponsors. We're gonna fill this all up. All right. So we're talking about art, and this reminds me right now on Twitter that yeah, at first you're focused on utility. At first you're focused on utility. You're focusing on the pipelines, putting up the panels, and once that is all done, now you have this guy Benji Taylor who is adding all the art over here, who is adding all the animation gifs to improve the user's experience, and that is incredible. That is incredible. That is what we need. Visa, Daiichi, Opella, real talk from big brand marketers, Japan's fandom culture, and Sonic. Future trends for the next 12 months, bringing new categories, human machine creativity. Meet your hero session with Cindy Gallop. Wrap up Grand Prix for good. Amazon Boat, Journal House, beach clubs, yachts at the marina, and parties everywhere. There was even a likely concert tied to the festival recently. Deals get done, trends are set, pure creative celebration. Riviera glamour, exhausting networking, everyone is on 24/7. The work for winning campaigns on the app are the best place to catch recaps. I have a blister in my mouth, and that is making it really hard for me to talk. Create better with the work. to work. Dot AI. Amazing. Okay. Banner. We do have the banner as well. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. We'll slowly figure this all out. Okay. No, I'm actually asking about the Cannes Film Festival. Okay, so Whisperflow now knows that how we pronounce Cannes, so now it's actually fixing this. Okay. Whisperflow is amazing. Whisperflow is amazing. Let's check out the stats. Let's check out a couple of stats over here. Insights. 53,000 total words, 142 words per minute, 12-day streak. Insights. Top 0.2%. You have written one book chapter. Fixes made by Flow. Corrections from your snippets and dictionary. Wow. Most are AI prompts, other tasks, personal messages, documents, emails, work messages. Yeah, it's mostly insights are building. Okay. And I have dictionary. Flow spells the way you do. You are an inquiry engine. Meditations frequently explore complex topics through a series of probing questions, especially in OpenAI Atlas. This approach helps you gather comprehensive insights and deepen your understanding of subjects ranging from AI to cultural history. Turning your curiosity into actionable insights. Tell me more. Catchphrase. Keep and most corrected word. Interesting. And personal terms, company jargon, client names, or industry specific lingo with your team so everyone sees on the same page. Johor, Balaji, Whisperflow, Prashant, Cloudbot. Really cool. Really cool. Alright, let's see. Festival de Cannes, iconic one you are asking about. It's the world's most prestigious film events held annually in May at the Palais des Festivals et des Congrès on the Croisette in Cannes, France. Roots in political drama from the late 1930s, the Venice Film Festival, the oldest in the world, came under heavy fascist influence from Mussolini's Italy and Nazi Germany. In 1938, awards were manipulated to favor propaganda films, Olympia, which outraged the Americans, British, and French. France decided to create a rival free international film festival. Oh. The Venice Film Festival. Okay, okay. This outraged the Americans, British, and French. France decided to create a rival free international film festival. Diplomat, historian Philippe Erlanger, with support from Minister Jean Zay and others, pushed the idea. Cannes was chosen over Biarritz as the host. The official berth was signed on May 31, 1939, with the first edition planned for September 1 to 20, 1939. Films like The Wizard of Oz and The Hunchback of Notre Dame were set to screen. The exact opening day, the festival was cancelled after just one screening. It took until 1946 for the first proper edition to launch. With 18 countries participating, it quickly became a symbol of cinematic freedom and glamour on the French Riviera. The Palme d'Or, Golden Palm, was introduced in 1955 as the top prize, replacing the earlier Grand Prix. Over the decades, it evolved into a major forum for global cinema, showcasing art house gems, launching careers, big breaks for many new wave directors, and blending art with red carpets. Un certain regard, Directors Fortnight, Critics Week, short films, documentaries, market, marché du film, huge industry marketplace for deals, co-productions, and sales. Intense screenings, sometimes 4 plus per day, press conferences, parties, yacht gatherings, and the famous red carpet. Public elements and massive media coverage. Romanian drama. Jaw, fought by Cristian Muncio, Grand Prix, Minotaur. Strong art house lineup. A milestone year with likely extra celebrations. Interesting things in atmosphere, red carpet stars, endless celebrity sightings, fashion moments, and paparazzi frenzy. Go on to Oscars success, Parasite, Moonlight, Cannes Lions, transforms into film lovers' paradise with billboards, parties, beach screenings. Parallel market draws thousands of pros. Very interesting. Tell me more about who was the founder of this. Let's see. Philippe Erlanger, primary founder, visionary behind the Cannes Film Festival. French writer, historian, diplomat, cultural figure. Served as head of France's Department of International Artistic Exchange, organizing exhibitions and promoting French culture abroad. He attended the Venice Film Festival as a French jury member. He was appalled by the heavy political interference, fascist Nazi influences, dictating awards in favor of propaganda films. On the train ride back to France, he conceived the idea of a rival free international film festival independent of political pressure. In just a moment. Thierry Fremont reflects on the 79th edition. Chopard. Very interesting. L'Aventure rêvée. Coward. El Ser Querido. Oh, is that the same actor from F1? I don't know. Palme d'Or. Javier Calvo, Javier Ambrosi. For the future of cinema, the festival today, the history of the festival. More than 35,000 professionals and festival goers climb the 24 red steps of the Palais under the gaze of million cinema lovers. Gentle Monster. This reminds me, there's a brand. Moulin Paper Tiger. Soudain. All of a sudden. Gentle Monster. Is there a brand? Yes, there's a brand. Whoa. It's pretty sick. Skip to main content. Is that on gel? No. That looks like on gel. Wow. The website is crazy. It's crazy. The new Meta glasses look exactly like this. Wow. Meta did a really good job. But they basically copied. I mean, they have to copy someone. Whoa. What is this? This is sick. This is sick. Oh my god, they do this with all their glasses. Oh, these are the F1 glasses. So this is their classic design, best selling. One of the best selling glasses. Yeah, this one looks like a best selling because it's very simple. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Action. Erlanger lobbied authorities relentlessly. He worked with film journalist Robert Favre Libre and secured support from key government figures. On May 31, 1939, the French government and the city of Cannes officially signed the birth certificate for the Festival International du Film. Cannes was chosen as the host after competition with other towns like Biarritz. Persistence through challenges. The 1939 edition was cancelled due to World War II. Hitler's invasion of Poland on opening day. Erlanger kept the project alive during the war years despite difficulties. Post-war, with France in ruins, he helped raise funds, including via public subscription, to make the first edition happen in 1946. He served as the festival's first general delegate until 1951 and remained involved as a jury member. Jean Zay, French Minister of National Education and Finance at the time, he provided crucial political backing and official approval, making the festival a state-supported initiative. Without his support, Erlanger's idea might not have become reality so quickly. promote French culture, and create a democratic counter to authoritarian influence in European arts. Tragically, Zev was assassinated by French collaborators during World War II, but his contribution is remembered as foundational. Film journalists who collaborated closely with Erlanger, local Cannes officials, and hoteliers who advocated for the city as host. Non-politicized alternative to Venice. The festival was very much product of its time, a cultural resistance during. Hmm. Tell me more about what is the key role that this festival has played in the film industry, in bringing more independent art to limelight, and some very interesting ripple effects. Give me some very interesting second and third order consequences of Cannes Film Festival today. I'm really curious. We're always curious about the second and third order effects because that is what makes things very interesting. That is what makes things extremely interesting. And one very interesting that happens is that once you have your face, you get an instant like. That is obviously true. Oh, oh, oh. Installer et relancer. One of the most powerful platforms for elevating independent art house and author driven cinema. Films that prioritize artistic vision, challenging themes, and innovative storytelling over broad commercial appeal. More market driven or Hollywood centering events, Cannes has historically championed cinema as art, giving visibility, prestige, and business opportunities to works that might otherwise struggle for attention in a blockbuster dominated industry. Very interesting. Very interesting. Core role in spotlighting independent and art house films, Cannes was founded partly as a counter to political interference in cinema, notably at Venice in the 1930s, emphasizing artistic merit and international openness. From its post World War II revival in 1946, it positioned itself as a forum for global film producing countries focused on quality rather than propaganda. Non mainstream author films. Emerging directors, experimental works, debuts, and films from underrepresented regions or with limited budgets, or win, especially the Palme d'Or, confers instant critical and cultural cachet. The Marché du Film, alongside the festival, it connects producers, distributors, sales agents, financiers, and streamers for deals on territorial rights, co productions, and financing. For independents, this is also existential. Resales and distribution agreements can greenlight or sustain projects that lack studio backing. Cine Fondation, supporting film school projects, the Atelier for funding young directors and programs addressing diversity, inclusion, sustainability. Impact, further extend the support for ambitious independent storytelling. Very interesting. Direct ripple effects, career launches and breakthroughs. Many directors gain international recognition here, leading to bigger budgets or sustained careers. Historical examples include French New Wave figures and later American independent like the Coen brothers, Barton Fink, Palme d'Or, and Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction. The latter's success helped demonstrate that indie films could achieve massive commercial and cultural impact. Distribution and financing wins. Deals at the Marche often determine a film's theatrical or streaming fate. Territorial sales provide crucial revenue streams for low to mid budget projects. Cons frequently serves as a launchpad. Winners and buzzed titles gain momentum for Academy Awards. Recent patterns show a strong correlation between high profile Cannes premieres and Oscar nominations wins. Parasite, amazing. Historic Oscar sweep. Subtitles and international artists could dominate mainstream awards and box office in key markets, boosted Korean cinema's global profile, inspired discussions on class inequality, and showed the festival's power to propel films culturally and economically. This is really cool. So it seems like Quentin Tarantino came from Cannes. Industry structures, culture, economics, and society. Industry level shifts, second order, legitimization, and risk taking. Cons helped normalize difficult or artistic films as culturally valuable and sometimes commercially viable, encouraging studios and streamers to invest in or acquire more ambitious projects. It influenced a feedback loop where festival success feeds into broader financing ecosystems. Cons help normalize difficult or artistic films as culturally valuable and sometimes commercially viable, encouraging studios and streamers to invest in or acquire more ambitious projects. It influenced a feedback loop where festival success feeds into broader financing ecosystems. Festival success feeds into broader financing ecosystems, globalization of talent and stories. By platforming voices from Asia, Africa, Latin America, and elsewhere accelerates cross cultural flows, contributed to more diverse representation in the global cinema, and inspire hybrid storytelling styles. Programs pushing inclusion and sustainability reflect ongoing adaptation to industry demands for equity. The Marche and associated events produces network investor circle for private funding of ambitious projects have professionalized indie financing. Defender of theatrical big screen experiences while facilitating hybrid deals. I think this is very interesting. I think most people do still love to engage with theatrical releases because what is happening over there is that you are watching this piece of art with a bunch of other humans, and that is a experience, that is a beautiful experience. So I believe what is going to happen is that Cannes Film Festival, something like Cannes Film Festival, is going to become more and more. It's going to become more and more elite space, a private elite members only space to watch the best of the best movies together in a beautiful space like Cannes and France. That's big. That's really big. Legitimization of risk taking, globalization of talent and stories, market evolution, broader cultural and societal ripples, second and third order, shaping taste and discourse. Festival selections influence what critics, audiences, and even other filmmakers consider important cinema. This can elevate social, political themes, class migration, identity, power into wider conversation. Diverse programming fosters empathy, cultural learning, and dialogue across borders, generating public value through shared cultural experiences. Soft power, national visibility, countries or regions' cultural standing. Films become vehicles for soft power, highlighting national stories or issues globally. Inspiration and ecosystem effects. It motivates new generations of filmmakers to pursue personal visions. The festival circuit, with cons as a pinnacle, creates networks that sustain independent production. Greater resilience in art house cinema amid industry consolidation and streaming dominance. Festivals help films find audiences and funding outside traditional studio models. Economic multipliers. Beyond deals, the event drives tourism, luxury spending, and jobs in Cannes and the French Riviera. Globally successful indie films create ongoing revenue streams, employment and distribution, exhibition, and cultural exports. Amplifies debates on freedom of expression, diversity, representation, and industry practices. It can pressure the wider industry toward more inclusive or thoughtful approaches, though it also faces critiques around gatekeeping or elitism. Commercialization of the event itself, red carpet spectacle sponsorship, sometimes tensions with its artistic roots. In a fragmented media landscape, its influence coexists with and sometimes competes against streaming algorithms and social media virality. Both a mirror and shaper of global cinema, elevating independence while rippling toward outward to influence what stories get told, who gets to tell them, how they are funded and seen, and even broader cultural conversations. Its effects compound over time. One Palme d'Or winner can spark careers, shift industry norms, alter audience expectations, and contribute to long term cultural shifts. Alright, that's stream. This was a quick one. Even the quick one lasts for 40 minutes, but this was an interesting thing that I wanted to learn about the Cannes Festival. Let's go.